And welcome back to another episode of the Men's Report, Fantasy Prediction Show, hosted by yours truly, Menace to Fantasy. Let's go. And welcome back to another episode of the Men's Report, Fantasy Prediction Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. Welcome back. Let me hop in. All right, let me stop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back in. Gonna flood you again with some more content. Sitting here, watching YouTube all day. I said, let me go over my undervalued players coming up to these drafts next month. Now, when you're talking about undervalued and you're talking about fantasy football, what I think about immediately is a player that draft price or draft value is way below their true importance to a team, meaning their value is not really what it is. What I'm saying is somebody who people really not looking at, and they're, I'll get them late, I'll draft them in the 10th, 11th round, but their value really is going to return like a 4th round player. That's what I'm talking about when they're undervalued. And there's a lot of undervalued players this year coming up in the draft, because we know we still got some old school players, got their name still rings bells, holds weight, but they're older. They're starting to go the other way. Not saying that they're not going to be involved, but they are older and their injury risk is increased. And that's not what you want in fantasy football. Okay, so you got to find value. You have to dig a little bit deeper, and you got to find value later in the draft. So I'm going to hit you with 3 individuals that you can find later in the draft, or, in my opinion, undervalued. Okay, remember, their draft price is not really their direct importance to a team or their direct influence, because they're going to return value. All right. So the first individual I'm going to talk about, and I'm on like the green light with this young man. I'm hoping I'm able to draft him, and I don't want to pull the trigger early, because if I get him late, it's going to be huge. In unordinary GMs, I spend some fab money, and that's a whole nother topic, how jokers are scared to spend fab. It's not real money. Go ahead and spend it. I spent $50 on this young man. I'm talking about the young man from Texas, Jonathan Brooks, running back North Carolina, or the Carolina Panthers. All right, Jonathan Brooks, he's undervalued in my opinion. Remember, this young man coming out of Texas, a highly touted player coming out of college. Highly touted. Remember, he was playing behind Bijan Robinson, and he was just as skilled. Bijan had the first step, and once he left and went to the pro, Jonathan came in and didn't skip a beat, kept it going. Jonathan Brooks is the truth. Highly touted. All right, now to start off his end of career, he's been plagued by injuries. Now they're already saying that he's healthy. It reminds me of Javonte Williams. Remember, it took him about 2 years to get right. And last year, Javonte was all right last year. I had him on one of my teams I wanted to chip with. He did his thing. So I'm hoping. That's what I'm doing, hoping. I'm not saying he's guaranteed. But Jonathan Brooks, if he is healthy, he comes back. Remember, he's only one injury, one big play, one big game away, but taking over the Carolina Panthers running back RB1 position. Okay? He's playing behind Chuba Hubbard. Now, Chuba Hubbard is a professional. Not taking anything away from him. I owned him in a couple of dynasty leagues. He's just a good football player. In my opinion, he is nothing special. Okay? He's no Jahmyr Gibbs. Jonathan Brooks, if he is back to being normal, he is special. Okay? Remember now, just last season, Rico Dowdle took that job from Hubert Hubbard. Okay? We're finding ourselves in a very similar situation this season with Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. If Jonathan Brooks' explosiveness has returned to him, it's going to be sooner rather than later he will take that job. So, when I'm saying he's undervalued, instead of taking Chuba Hubbard, I'm going to say probably, if you want Chuba, you're probably going to be about fifth round, sixth round. I'd rather wait and go with the upside of the younger player in the 7th or 8th round with Jonathan Brooks. Very undervalued. So he's my first player that, in my opinion, is undervalued. The next player, this brother I have used this man off the wire a lot of times. And this year, this situation that he's going into, he left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right there, I'm telling you who it is. Rasheed White, Commanders running back. His game fits perfect into fantasy football. All right? He's fantasy friendly pass catcher. He's an elite pass catcher. Woods out of the backfield. And he went to Washington. The first thing why I like this, he's pairing up with his old teammate, Dana Daniels. So they already have built-in chemistry. Okay? I think this man is undervalued. Why? You can get him late 7th, 8th round. A RB1. He's going to be the starting running back for the Washington Commanders. Okay? I'm sorry, Bill. Jakari Krosky married Bill. They call him Bill. He flashed a little bit. Want to hear that, but he is not good of a player as Rasheed White, especially out of the backfield. I think this should, because if you really look at Washington's offensive weapons, they got Scary Terry, Antonio Williams. He's a rookie, hasn't been proven really. You got the tight end Chinka Onwaka. I can't even pronounce his name. So the weapons are not really there in Washington. And I think Rasheed White will be named the starting running back, and he will be utilized out of the backfield. He will catch the ball, okay? This man is undervalued. If you get a starting running back in the 8th round and he comes back and returns some solid value for you, or RB2 value, that is huge. All right. The last running back that I feel is undervalued going into the 2026 Fantasy Football PPR draft. And I brought this young man, I didn't say him by name, but I mentioned him last video when I was talking about Amarian Hampton, and I said it was another running back in Los Angeles Chargers that is sneaky. And this young man, you can get him real late, is undervalued. It's Keaton Mitchell, Chargers running back. Now, I told you guys, I'm big on Mike McDaniel. Not Mike McDaniel as a head coach, but Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator. Now, he's already proven that he loves undersized running back. Devon Achane, you know. But if you know, you might not know. Once he got hired by the Chargers, one of the first things he did was said to the GM, I need you to sign Keaton Mitchell. Repeat, the offensive coordinator told the GM, go sign Keaton Mitchell. That's already telling me he has plans to utilize this young man. Not saying that he's going to take over the role, but it's going to be a thunder and lightning type situation, okay, with the Chargers. Hampton, the bigger back, he's going to work. And I told you, I'm taking him in the 2nd round if he's there. Mitchell is going to be that lightning. There are going to be some plays designed to get him out in the open space and let him utilize. That man in Baltimore was averaging 6 yards a carry. Big play ability. He's small, so he's not going to be the every down back. But he's going to have packages. He's going to touch the ball at least 8 to 10 times a game. And if you get him in the 11th or 12th round, you run back 4? What? And you know he's going to have some games where he's just going crazy. So Mitchell has standalone value. All right? He has standalone value. Because even if Hampton gets nicked up and has to leave the game early, Kamani Vidal is nothing special. He's a good player. He's nothing special. Keaton Mitchell is special. Okay? It's special. Now, let's wrap this up because I took too much of your time already, ladies and gentlemen. Let's end this correctly. Now, that was just some of my undervalued players. Folks, this is kind of bad because I'm giving my cheat sheets. What's on my cheat sheets? I'm sharing it with y'all. But I'm bored, so that's let me hop in and do a video. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Peace.